everyone, we're live for NRT Live. My name's Grace Chaves. I'm New Release Today's news editor and Instagram manager. And in case you don't know what this is NRT Live. And every month I've been talking to a Christian artist about their music, the stories behind their songs. And today I'm going to be joined by Caroline Cobb. She's an awesome singer and songwriter. And once she joins, I'll get her in here. But yeah, until then, you can comment, let us know that you're watching. And today I'm going to be talking with her about her new album she just released called A King and His Kindness. It's a great album filled with a lot of biblical truth, and I see she's in here now, and I will get her added. And enough of me talking, she can tell you about the album. Let's see. Hey!
Hey, how are you?
Sorry, Instagram was glitching for a minute. I wasn't sure what happened, but you're here now.
No, that's okay. Yes. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So
Can
today
you
I
hear
just want
me?
to talk with you about your music. Yeah, I can. It was a little delayed, but I can hear you better now.
Okay, great. Great.
Okay, are we good?
Yeah, I think there's maybe a little bit of a delay, but I think it's going to be great anyway. So we'll
Yeah.
just go with it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. So first, you've been making music for a while. Just tell us about yourself and how you got started.
Yeah. Let's see. I did it kind of as a hobby for a long time. And then just in the last 6 years or so, when I was moved back to Dallas and had a little bit more family support to take care of my kids, I've been able to play more out. But really the story starts when I was about to turn 30. I decided to give myself a goal to write a song for every book of the Bible in a year. And that kind of launched this trajectory of wanting to make music and albums that tell this biblical story. And so I put out The Blood and the Breath in 2013, and then waited a while and put out A Home and a Hunger, and then in 2017. And then in the last couple of years, I've gotten to put out an Advent album, and now this album about Jesus called A King and His Kindness.
Yeah, it's awesome. And speaking of which, I was going to ask you about that. You just released your new album. What's the inspiration behind that project?
Yeah, I think with every other album that I've done, I've really been kind of taking this wide angle view where, it drops in on different moments of scripture, but it starts in Genesis and goes all the way to the end. But this time I just kind of had this desire to zoom in and to get up close to Jesus and tell sort of those stories and drop in on a bunch of different moments in his life and really look at him from a lot of different angles. And yeah, and of course, every album that I put out, it has to be an alliteration, which is something nerdy that maybe people don't even notice, but a seed, a sunrise, the blood and the breath, a home and a hunger. And then when I was thinking about this one, I was like, oh, this is exactly what I want to say, that he is a king, but he is this kind king. And so looking at him from all of these different angles, it's been really beneficial for me too.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I mean, you don't see a ton of artists who take scripture and turn it into songs like that. And
Mhm.
what's that been like? Like, what's your songwriting process? And what has it been like taking scripture and turning it into music?
Yeah, I really love it. I love diving in every, time I'm writing a song and really challenging myself sometimes. I wrote a song about Jesus turning the tables over in the temple and kind of asking, how would I write a song about that? What would it have felt like? How does that apply to today? How does that apply to me? And so asking a lot of questions, just like anyone who maybe would preach a sermon might, like who, what, when, where, and why. And then also using all these tools that songwriters have, melody and, fun alliterations or point of view, telling a story from Eve's perspective or whoever. So it's been really encouraging for me in my own faith. And even though I'm writing from scripture, kind of telling that story, all of these songs have laid across things that are going on in my own life or have come back to encourage me later. So they're really personal in a way, but sometimes you might not be able to know that because they're really telling this bigger story that's personal to all of us, the story of scripture.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's an incredible way to write songs. And your new
Thanks.
album is great. I was just listening to that before we jumped on here. So,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah, of course. And you recently released a live acoustic video for Who Is This Jesus? What was it like filming that?
Yeah, I filmed it with two friends, Paul Deemer and Graham Jones, that live in Dallas with me. And we all had some songs that we wanted to capture live. But I'll be honest, we did it sort of in this fun, independent musician kind of way where each of us took turns filming the other. We set up a bunch of different cameras. It was just us filming it. So Paul captured it all on audio and mixed it for us. But it was just us being those guys are in my community here in Dallas and in my musical community. And so it was fun to do that. And I do love that song. And I feel like it works without a lot of, it doesn't need a big band. And so it was really cool to be able to do it acoustic and in that beautiful church and with my friends. So yeah, thanks for asking about that.
Yeah, and you're going on tour actually tomorrow, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, what can fans expect from those concerts that you're going to be putting on this fall?
Yeah, I mean, every concert's a little bit different. You know, there might be a women's event. I'm actually on Thursday playing in a prison, so that will be cool. So it's all kinds of different things. But I usually at every concert, my hope is to kind of tell this story so people are able to rehearse it as they're sitting there. You know, they're not just listening to some girl sing a bunch of arbitrary songs about, you know, my own feelings, but I'm trying to sing their story and help them kind of journey along through music, this big story of scripture, and see themselves inside of this story. And kind of, it helps us anchor, it helps us have urgency, it helps us remember the main things. And so that's really my heart in all of these shows. But we have a lot of fun. There's some serious moments, there's some really fun moments, there's some singing along. So it's really a joy to get to play all these songs, and I'm excited about the new ones and adding them all in for sure.
That's awesome. And what's next for you? Is there any plans for another album soon?
You know, what's next for me is just being able to, I've put out a lot of music, and since 2019 I think I've done 3 projects. It was like a personal project about motherhood and marriage and different things, and then A Sea to Sunrise, which is a Advent project, and then this one. So it's been, you know, one after another. So my plan in the spring is to just write a lot of music, but I don't have any plans per se to put out another album in the near future. But when I dream about it, I think about the Psalms. I think about putting out another personal EP, but I want to take my time and let the fields lay fallow a little bit, if you will, so that in a few years I have a harvest of really strong songs, hopefully from the Psalms or something like that.
Nice. And
Yeah.
I do this on every live stream. I do rapid fire questions. So
Okay.
are you ready
Okay.
for that?
I don't know. Am I? I am
I
so
don't know.
excited. I'm ready.
Okay. Favorite worship song?
Ooh, I love the City of Light stuff lately. So right now, the first one that came to my mind is Yet Not I, But Christ in Me.
Good one. And favorite instrument to play?
Well, I have to say guitar because that's the one that I'm best at. But lately, I've been trying to play piano. So maybe one of these days I'll bust that out. Right now, maybe I'll say piano because it helps me to write new songs in a different way.
Hmm. Yeah, and I do not know how to play any musical instruments. I work in the music industry. I do not know how to play anything. Just kind of ukulele. Might try that soon. I don't know, but
That's awesome. Go for it. Go for it for
yeah.
sure.
And favorite food?
Chips and queso,
Nice.
Tex-Mex.
And controversial question, but books or movies?
Ooh, books for sure.
Yeah,
That's not very,
me too.
I love books all the way.
And another controversial one, but coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee, 100%.
I always choose tea, but
That's
and
okay. We can hang out.
dream vacation spot.
Um, Somewhere in the mountains, and I'd love to go to Glacier National Park or the Canadian Rockies.
Nice.
That's what I love.
And favorite song that you've written?
Um, that's a good question. I'm proud of all of them, and I enjoy getting to make these set lists and stuff. But I think maybe the one that's resonated the most with me at different times is "There Is a Mountain," and it's about kind of the upside down kingdom, and it talks about how all you need is need in God's kingdom.
Awesome. And this is not a rapid fire question, but how can we be praying for you and your ministry?
Yeah, that's a great question too. I recently my family just lost my dad about it's been about a month, and it was not super sudden, but it was also not expected either. So he had a surgery, and then it he never really was able to recover. So um, doing concerts and releasing music in the midst of grief, I think has caused me to really want to cling to the Lord for strength, and really can't do it on my own strength. And so um, just praying that he'll use me in these concerts, and that I won't try to do it on my own strength, but I'll be able to just be the steward of this story that he's given me. So yeah, that's the prayer.
Well, I'll be praying for you and for
Thank
peace
you.
while you're out on the road. So,
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
of course. And it was
Appreciate
so
it.
great getting to talk with you today. And I hope to talk to you real soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really
Yeah, of
appreciate it.
course. Have a good
Okay.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.